At the start of the video here, I just want to say that if you really want to help support me and help support the channel, click the join button down below and become a member. Like these wonderful individuals. Also, check out my second channel, please. Craig Thompson, aka Minilad, is a name that I've covered a few times on my channel. I've spoken about his apologies, how he was kicked from certain organizations, and quite a bit more. It hasn't just been me who has spoken about Minilad though. Countless videos have been made on him. Since there are so many of these Minilad videos, you're probably wondering to yourself, why am I making another one? Well, I have two reasons. The first one being that Mini has seemingly disappeared from the internet, and the second one being that it's been a month since his last apology. I feel like since it's been over a month, it's a good time to reflect on this whole thing. If you don't know what this whole thing is about or you've just forgotten, I'll remind you. Minilad, a guy with over 5 million subscribers, found himself in quite a bit of trouble around the middle of last year. Why though? What did he do? Well, our boy Craig decided that it would be a very good idea to have some naughty conversations with minors. Obviously, this led to insurmountable backlash, and Minilad is basically blacklisted from the internet. And it isn't just subscribers and credibility he's lost. Nah, he's lost his sponsorships from international organizations, and the stadium that he sponsored, nah, they want nothing to do with him. He created apology after apology, but it seemed like he was just trying to carry on as normal and make the whole thing blow away after a while. Now, of course, this led to even more anger because Minilad, he was yet to address the situation properly. But eventually, this all changed. On the 29th of December 2020, he uploaded an apology video titled pretty creatively, "My Apology." This apology has since been absolutely blasted, and Mini has seemingly vanished. You may have heard me say in many of my other Minilad videos that I used to be a massive Minilad fan, though I've never really gone into depth about how much I used to like the guy. I wasn't just a guy who hopped on the commentary bandwagon when his career started to go balls up. Now, my previous videos on Minilad weren't solely from a commentary channel point of view. They were from a fan's point of view. A fan who, like many others, Minilad had betrayed. To really put into perspective about how much I used to like this guy, I had been a fan since 2013-2014, before he hit 1 million subscribers. And not just a fan who is subscribed to someone but only watches one or two of their videos from time to time. No, I always used to watch his videos. I remember coming home from school, plopping down on my bed and making sure that I watched his new upload before I watched any other video in that day. Hell, I even asked him to wish me happy birthday a few years ago. When I made my Thirst Project and Stadium videos, two of the biggest videos on my channel, I didn't have to delve deep into Minilad history to find things that I didn't know about. I knew he had this stadium and this partnership with the Thirst Project long before I made my videos on them. I knew this stuff because I was a humongous Minilad fan. So much so that when he had his first falling out with Terrorizer, I sided with Minilad. Obviously, I was stupid at the time, that or blinded by loyalty. I highly respected the guy and considered him one of my favorite YouTubers. Looking back on it, there's so much nostalgia surrounding his channel, because, as I said earlier, I always used to watch his videos. That's why me and so many other individuals who used to be fans were so disgusted by his actions. Here was a man who we used to respect so much doing something so abhorrent. Something that neither I nor many fans can ever forgive him for. Because from our point of view, this isn't something you can just forgive or move on from. It was a disgusting act committed by a man who we used to trust. From my point of view, individuals who are still defending him to this day are either incredibly loyal, so much so that they're willing to overlook this terrible thing he did, or regard it as an oopsie daisy, or they're just too young to understand the gravity of this issue. And this isn't helped by Minilad himself. These fans need to realize that what what he did is irredeemable, and I know I'm sounding like a Sith because I'm dealing in absolutes, but the writing is on the wall here. You can't just carry on like nothing happened, because something did happen, and this something that happened was terrible. As I said in the beginning of this video, Minilad has seemingly vanished from the internet. I don't know if Minilad wants to come back, but even if he wants to, it won't be allowed to happen. His apology is the best apology he made, but it's easy to be the best when the rest are terrible. This apology was still garbage though, for a multitude of reasons that I'm not going to get into. If you're interested, I'm sure you can find countless videos talking about it, or you can go watch my video on it. If we have a look at the like to dislike ratio, we can see that there's 100,000 more dislikes than there are likes on this video. This shows us something. Even if Minilad wanted to come back, the status quo would probably still happen. Here's a brand new Minilad video. It's time to leave a dislike and a negative comment. This will happen because people, justifiably, don't want him back. Minilad is loathed by so many, and it stems from his own actions. It took him so long to actually address it, but in the video where he's meant to address it, he barely scratches the surface. He tried to come back and carry on as normal, but normality is a foregone conclusion for Minilad. Minilad's channel is as dead as his dignity at the moment. He's been bleeding subscribers for months, and this isn't going to stop anytime soon. Even if he was to come back, almost 1 million previous fans aren't gonna be there. Yes, if he was to come back, he would still come back to quite a few people. But really put that into perspective, Minilad has lost close to 1 million subscribers. Besides all of this though, I doubt he's ever gonna come back. He may stay away for self-preservation, as if he comes back, it's pretty obvious that it's gonna be met with a lot of fury. I'm not gonna go into his financial situation as I have no idea about that, but I sure hope Mini has managed his money correctly. Though I guess his channel is still pulling some views, which means money for him. He may just ride the rest of his career out into oblivion. When it comes to the larger impact of this thing, I think this whole situation had a good and bad effect on the overall YouTube community. Anons got exposed and has since been blacklisted. This is good, but what isn't good is that some people have become extremely weaponized to situations like this, almost too weaponized. Classic examples of this weaponization are the pyrocynical thing, Red Kiwis, and the Call Me Carson situation. Red Kiwis deserves every bit of criticism he gets because he is arguably worse than Minilad and should not be on the internet. But the reason why we can say this is because we know both sides of the story, and we know that Red Kiwis is the bad guy in this situation. But when it came to the pyrocynical stuff, people jumped to make videos way before we knew both sides of the story. Some individuals and YouTubers flip-flopped around the story and only made videos that would coexist with the general opinion at the time. So when Pyro did eventually respond, some of these YouTubers and some of these individuals had to really have a look at the way that they do things. And now we've ended up at the Call Me Carson stuff. Once again, people on the internet have been losing their mind. Though what's been good to see is that lots of content creators have seemingly grown and learned from the Pyro stuff. Many people have been saying one of two things. Firstly, that the entire situation is just rather stupid. But secondly, we have to wait for both sides of the story to come out before we cast judgment on anything along these lines. Thanks to the Minilad stuff, people have become a lot more aware of this stuff going on, and the perpetrators have been taken to task. But we still have to keep a level head while this stuff is going on. We can't be blinded by our emotions when we only know one side of the story, because one side of the story may sound absolutely brilliant, but the other side, when it eventually comes out, may sound even better. We have to listen to reason in these scenarios, but unfortunately, some individuals don't do this because they are scared that another Minilad situation could be occurring. This will lead to them automatically claiming that X is a nonce because they've seen some evidence. Though this is the evidence that pertains to one side of the story, not both sides. Thanks to the Minilad thing, we learned how to handle these situations better. But we have to be very careful with our new knowledge.